going to answer the age-old question, is this my mind or is this actually my intuition? And what I'm going to say is both are equally important. If you have been following me or you're a student of mine, you would hear me constantly say, everything is information. So if it is your mind coming in, that is information. Because how intuition works is if we haven't dealt with our mind, seen the patterns, identified the emotions, they create a lens over the top of our intuition, and that's what we view through. So an example of this is if you are in a constant state of anxiety and fear, and even if you're not aware of it, but subconsciously you are, you will constantly view through that lens of anxiety and fear. So as you're trying to be psychic, the fear clouds the intuition and taints the information that comes in. As we learn to create separation with our mind, see the patterns of our mind, how it's trying to keep us safe, the more we observe that, the less we become identified with those behaviors. We have different choices. When we haven't observed the mind and understood how the mind is controlling us, we become very identified with the mind and we think we are it. When you start to train yourself to be more intuitive, to develop your psychic abilities, you start to gain a deeper understanding of how your intuition actually works. The way that your mind works and your intuition works are completely different. So an example of this is my mind comes in always from my right side, my intuition always comes in from my left. Everyone's is different, but the mind and the intuition work completely differently. Now, why it's important, why this question is important is, if you're reading and you understand the difference between the two, and you feel your mind come in whilst reading, that's actually information. It's a signal. It's telling you that there's something that you're avoiding or you haven't acknowledged that you need to care for, so it doesn't taint the intuition. If I'm reading someone, you would have heard me say, if you've had a session with me, just give me a moment, I'm managing my mind. What's happening in that scenario is I'm not being psychic all the time. I'm coming in and out of a psychic state whilst observing my mind, because I don't want to give you my opinion or my feelings or my trauma or anything associated with me. I want to give you what my intuition is telling me, because that is truth. So if I'm reading and my mind is coming in, it's telling me that something needs to be acknowledged so that I'm not viewing through that when I'm trying to be intuitive. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're being intuitive, learn to create separation with your mind and your intuition. Start to understand the feeling between the two of them. Then when you're reading, if you're feeling any sense that it's actually your mind, it's telling you that that needs care and attention so that you can read more accurately. Everything is information. Your mind coming in is just as important as your intuition. So get curious, create separation between the two. Learn the feelings of the mind and the intuition. And then if the mind's coming in, it's telling you it needs acknowledgement. Let me know if you have any questions. Good luck.